everyone, I'm Ashley, and in today's video we will be learning all about the supplies you need to get started in embroidery. So obviously if you're interested in starting an embroidery business, you're going to need an embroidery machine. Back there is my baby. That's a PR655 Brother Entrepreneur machine. That is a multi-needle machine. Obviously you don't need a multi-needle machine to get started. That's obviously an upgrade. When I first started out, I bought a Singer Futura. It was wonderful. It lasted me a whole year before I decided to get a multi-needle, and it really gave me the chance to explore if it was something I was good at and something I wanted to do as a business. So I would advise you to find a great machine to get started. There are some wonderful options out there, single needle machines that people still use in their business every day. You don't have to have a multi-needle machine, so I will link my favorites below in the description box. That way you have some options. So next, once you get your embroidery machine, how do you use it? There are going to be some preloaded software, fonts on there, probably in a few little designs, but you're going to want software for your computer so that way you can be more efficient whether you want to download new fonts, new monogram fonts, applique designs, embroidery designs. You're going to want some kind of software for your computer. So if your machine didn't come with embroidery software, I would definitely recommend Embroidery software. I will link it in the description box below. It has been such a blessing because if you're not familiar with embroidery software, some softwares, say you're writing down a name and it's got 7 letters. Well, you have to click on each individual letter to bring it in, merge it, size it, make it all look right. With Embroidery software, their free demo, you can do lettering, and just by typing the name on the keyboard, it'll be written out. It's magic. I love it. So I'll put it in the description box below. You will need to upgrade if you want to start merging designs or start doing applique, but it is great for beginners. Now that you have your machine, your software, your computer, I'm going to give you a tip. And this, you don't have to get this, but I would definitely recommend an external hard drive because embroidery designs take up a lot of space on your computer, and if you're constantly downloading fonts and designs, you're going to bog down your computer, possibly leading it to crash. So I would definitely recommend putting your designs on an external hard drive. That way you're not bogging down your computer, making it super slow. To that effect, I also use these little USB sticks for my machine. And actually some embroidery machines don't take the bigger gigabyte machine, so you have to see which one your machine will take. I think this is 8 gigabytes. It's perfect for my brother machine, but so I'll link these in the description box below. I love transferring from my computer to the machine. That way I don't have to be connected to the machine. I just put it on the stick. Back to the route of storing your designs, I definitely recommend take it from someone with experience of losing all of her designs. I think I've done it twice now. Even if you have backup, computers crash, hard drives crash, go ahead and possibly invest in cloud service, whether it be Microsoft OneDrive or Google Drive or something, just so you have another form of backup in case your computer or hard drive crashes. Okay, done with the technical stuff. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the machine. So obviously it's embroidery. It uses thread. What kind of thread is the best thread? Well, as you'll see behind me, I started out my business with just this little multi-pack from Amazon. It has served me so well and gave me such a variety of colors without a huge investment. I believe it was probably under 50 bucks for the whole thing, so I'll link it in the description box below if you're just starting out. Now, as I have progressed with my business and I need more thread and better quality thread, I would definitely recommend the Robinson Anton, I don't know how to say it, thread. It just minimizes the breakage so much. It's just a quality thread. So as you're developing in your business, I would definitely start upgrading to better thread. It'll make your life a lot easier. On the aspect of making your life easier, bobbins. So if you're familiar with sewing, there's a top thread and a bobbin, just the same with embroidery. These are called MagnaGlide bobbins. These are wonderful. They pop right into your machine. You don't have to wind them. You don't have to worry about getting wonky thread when you're trying to wind them yourself. And they come in this big box. This has lasted me forever, and I'll link this below as well. MagnaGlide bobbins are wonderful. So you've got your thread, your bobbins. Depending on what kind of items you're embroidering, you're going to need what's called stabilizer. Stabilizer keeps that embroidery or monogram stable and keeps it from crinkling or becoming misshapen on your clothing. So depending on what you're embroidering, you could use a variety of stabilizers. So if you hit subscribe, next week I will be doing a video all about stabilizers. So depending on what you're embroidering, depends on what kind of stabilizer to use. These are just some I've grabbed, whether it be I've got a poly mesh, cutaway, tearaway. This is water soluble stabilizer. I've got something to go on back. So again, stabilizers, depending on what you're embroidering, you're going to need a different one. And we'll talk all about that next week. So your embroidery machine will probably come with hoops. So hooping is how you embroider your product. So in embroidery, placement is everything. So finding center and making sure that your placement is correct and your embroidery isn't sideways or in the wrong spot is key. So I love these flexi rollers, and I will link in the description box below, as well as these purple erasable pens. These are such a lifesaver when it comes to just marking out where center should be and getting your embroidery perfectly spaced. Another thing is, if you decide to get a multi-needle machine, there are things other than hoops. So this is called a fast frame. I have a whole set that I got off Amazon 5+ years ago, and they have been working for me wonderfully. And instead of hooping it, you just put sticky stabilizer, which we'll talk about next week, and then I clip with these little clips and make sure it's nice and tight, and it's so much easier for me than hooping. So frames would be something you don't have to have, but if you do get a multi-needle machine, I would definitely recommend investing in some frames. When you're doing embroidery, you'll obviously need scissors to cut your thread, but if you decide to do applique, let me show you what you need in your life. These are called duckbill scissors, and you see how they're kind of curved. It's curved so when you're cutting around your applique, you're less likely to puncture or cut through your shirt, and just cut the fabric instead. So that way you can get it nice and clean looking for the top stitch to go down. So be on the lookout for a how to applique tutorial coming up soon. Make sure you hit subscribe. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I really hope I've taught you what supplies you need to get started in your embroidery business. And if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, please hit subscribe. Next week we're going to be talking all about stabilizers. But can't thank you enough for watching. I'm Ashley, the Monogram Mompreneur. Thanks for watching.